and welcome back. I'm Hannah from TULA Being Mindful Movement. We're going to be working in our hammocks today. This is super beginner friendly. It's a way for us to bring some energy back into our body and use the hammock as a wonderful tool to help open up through the hips and the heart. We're actually going to do everything inside of the fabric at a high level height today. So once you're in, you're actually not going to get out until we've finished our practice. This is a little insight into something that I really love to do almost on a daily basis, a little 10-minute or so snack for you to really feel the weightlessness and the support of the hammock. All right, so we are going to start by taking the front edge of the fabric and getting ourselves seated inside of it. So find that front edge. Often it is sort of hidden there, so it's that rolled up front edge. I'm going to stand away from plumb line, that center point between the two pillars of fabric, swaying the fabric like a big flag so you can see the whole length of it there. We want to turn our back towards the fabric, hooking our thumbs into that front edge behind our body. So at this point, we want to take 6 handfuls. See me reaching the fingers nice and long. I've now hooked that fabric into my thumb. That's 1 gather. Let's go for 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stepping our way back until we find ourselves under plumb line, hands a little bit wider than the hips. We're going to releve, lift up onto those toes, onto the ball of your feet, and then press down firmly. Shift the weight into one foot, doesn't matter which one, don't overthink it. Hover the opposite leg or knee, press down firmly with the hands so that you can drag the fabric behind the back of the knees. We try to avoid jumping into the fabric. That one time that you haven't set yourselves up under plumb line, you'll be on the floor if you're always jumping. Best to do it slow and controlled. It's a wonderful way to move mindfully. We're going to bring the hands all the way up and then bring those arms around the back edge. Let's flutter the arms upwards again, lift the heart this time. Inhale, reach the arms up, maybe the gaze too. And then exhale, float those arms down. 2 more of those. Inhale. Open-heartedness. Exhale. 1 more time. Reach the arms up. And then turn towards your right side. I'll do a mirror opposite. We're going to grab the fabric roughly at face height and then push the hands away, nestling your shoulder blade into the fabric behind you. I'm also pressing the back of my head into the fabric behind me. 1 more breath here, extending the arms away as much as you can, and then soften that. We'll go for it again on the other side. Inhale. And then same thing, push those arms away, exhale. Nestling the shoulder blade of that right shoulder into the fabric behind you, trying to extend the arms. So 1 more time, let's go ahead towards the right side. Push the hands away from your face, and then this time lift your right hip, so you're scooting the sit bones out towards the side there. Can you keep hold of the fabric with the back arm, the back hand? That'll be your right hand. Push the fabric away. This bit can be a little bit tricky. We're going to use some momentum. Start to swing your right leg. We're going to see if we can swing it up and over to the other side. You can do this. So if we've got the flexibility, you'll literally lift as you start to lean back and we'll get the leg over. If we don't quite have that flexibility, you might need to catch it and then see if you can start to help that leg over. The other thing you can do is push your weight a lot further back as you go for it. So there's a couple of ways you might help. Once you've got the leg over to the other edge, grab the fabric behind your body, pull down as you try to sit yourself up nice and tall. Fabric behind the back of those knees, either side. We're into a straddle here. Start to open up through the arms, back of the arms, pressing into the fabric behind you so that you feel this expansiveness through the hips and the groin and through the heart. Inhale. Exhale, stay. Inhale. Exhale, stay. Bend through your left elbow and start to lean towards that knee. Left elbow, left knee. Place the forearm on that knee and then extend your right arm up towards the ceiling. If you feel like you've got the stability, you could reach the arm up and over and forwards. Inhale, come back through center, expand the arms, and then same thing on the other side. So it could be that you're reaching up, maybe you stay with the left hand reaching up or up and over towards the back of your fabric. And then slowly lifting your way back up. This time we're going to bring our heels into the fabric. So turn towards your left leg and we're going to catch the heel. We've got some momentum and timing here. Grab the fabric either side of that knee, and then as you kick the foot up and towards you, extend the arms forwards, catch the heel. So a little extension of the arms. Mine wasn't so smooth. As you push the foot forwards and away. Same thing on the other side, little momentum and timing. Yours could be just as sticky as mine. If you can, you catch the heel. And then you might notice that you're not sat very straight. We want to see if we can sit tall and straight in our fabric. So you grab the fabric behind your head once again, pull down. As you pull down, kick the heels down into the fabric and try to lengthen the spine. You could do that a couple of times. And then let's go ahead and bend through that back leg. Perhaps that's your right leg. Then start to extend both of your hands towards the extended leg here in the fabric. Don't worry if you cannot touch the foot, but perhaps you can hold onto the foot and allow your head to become heavy. So you could be a little rounded through the spine. Don't be a perfectionist about this. Just see how the body feels in this moment. And then stay extending with the bottom arm. That'll be your, so it's the same leg and arm. That will be your left leg and arm as you open the heart and reach up towards the ceiling with the right arm, or you could reach it through the fabric and forwards. So now we're feeling an extension and expansion through the lower waist on the right side of the body, the upper portion of that body. One more breath. And then lifting your way up. And we'll swap it over to the other side. So now we're bending through that right leg, left leg perhaps. Now we're bending through the left leg and we're extending through the right leg. Reach both arms up and then towards that straight-legged foot. See if you can grab the foot to pull and extend, head towards the toes. Don't worry if it's not a perfect shape, but just feeling into your spine, your hips, your waist. And then start to drop the right shoulder and arm and lift the left shoulder and arm. You could reach left fingers up towards the ceiling or extend it through back edge of the fabric. One more breath. And then lifting your way back up. Well done. So from here, we're going to see if we can extend the feet out, and then we're going to see if we can actually draw our knees into the fabric that's in front of us. So if you're able to see on the screen at this point where my hands are pushing into the fabric, I want to see if I can push my knees into this area. So you might want to listen as I cue this. I'm going to grab the fabric nice and high. So ultimately we end up kneeling in the fabric. Grabbing the fabric nice and high, I start to push down into my heels, Bend the knees up towards the ceiling, then pivot the knees forwards into that fabric that's in front of you. As you do that, you push the feet behind you. So I pull down, lift the hips, push the knees into the fabric in front, and then the feet come behind. Some people prefer to have the feet coming out of the fabric. If that's easy enough to do, you're welcome to do that, or you can keep your feet inside the fabric. I don't mind, either or. Now, as we come up to kneeling, notice how the knees want to spread. See if you can use your abductors here to draw the knees in towards one another. And we want to keep them roughly hip width. Try not to let them widen any further. We're going to grab the fabric high, come nice and tall, and then start to push your knees, your knees back and your hips forwards. So I'm trying to push my belly into that fabric in front of me. I'm going to stay holding on here, little lift of the heart up. So some will be comfortable bringing the elbows to the inside so that you could potentially go further. So you're just going to go to a point where you feel like you can hold, and we're using lots of core here. So the less I talk, the easier it is. The more I talk, the harder it is. I'm going to bring the elbows in. Trying to avoid the knees widening behind. Squeezing the knees closer together, a little squeeze of the glutes, breathing. I've taken the gaze up. When I'm ready to come out, I pull down, pull the knees forwards. I just come through to kneeling tall for a breath or two. Now this part, often having the feet out, feels a little bit more obtainable to most of us in terms of knee and hip integrity and ankle integrity. I'm going to start to pull my knees forwards, and I'm dropping my hips down into the fabric between my ankles. So it's a bit like a hero pose or saddle pose in the fabric here. If you feel comfortable going there, you could press your hands into the fabric in front of your face, round the back body, chin towards the chest. One more breath. And then soften. Pull the fabric either in front or behind of you to then release the fabric behind the back of the knees. Well done. We're going to end up bringing the back leg to the front again. So we end up seated facing the front. Grab the fabric in front of your face, push the fabric away. We want to kick that back leg. Maybe that's your right leg. Little kick. See if we can kick the leg up and over. Remember, if that's a challenge, you want to then lean towards the back here. So see if you can grab and then draw the leg over. A couple of goes, hopefully you'll get there. Come to sit facing the front edge, little wiggle to find neutrality through the hips. Grab the fabric behind the back edge. At this point, you're welcome to stay seated for Shavasana. Otherwise, we're heading into cocoon pose. Grab the fabric so that you can widen it above your head to lean yourself back. Kick the heels into the front edge of the fabric so that you find your whole body gently cocooned, contained, and hugged. Align the arms where they feel comfortable. Align the legs where they feel comfortable. If it feels good, take an inhale through the nose and a sigh away. And again, we become familiar with our surroundings. Maybe at first, just noticing your body swaying still. Any noises that might be surrounding you, or perhaps the temperature of the room. When you feel ready, you might just gently kick the feet out the front edge or add a little sway or stretch. Try to move intuitively as to what you need in this moment. Once you're ready to come up, feet, kick out the front edge so the fabric comes behind the back of the knees. Grab the fabric nice and high above your face so that you can pull down and lift your torso up to sit. It can be nice to come forwards into a floating child's pose, just catching the shoulders into the front edge of the fabric, the arms dangling around the back edge, head heavy. Quite like to keep the eyes open still in this moment so that I'm taking in the periphery, taking in surroundings, and slowly coming up to sit. You're welcome to stay here for longer, or I'll guide you to your feet, reaching the arms up. We want to grip nice and strong, fingers to the center of the palm. As you pull down, bend the elbows, hugging them in, press through the back of those legs into the front edge of the fabric so that you gently land your feet. Reach the arms up, bring them through the center. Palms together, thumbs, paws at the center of forehead. And then thumbs, paws at the center of heart space. You might choose to take a generous bow towards yourself. A little reminder to always put your body, your needs first. Have a beautiful, wonderful day. Thanks for joining today's practice.
Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like it below, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell icon. Not only will this keep you up to date with my offerings, but will keep content like TULA Being free and accessible to all.